You listen to me, you go to the top. Bobby! Bye-bye!
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby?
The other one was, and I don't know if you really want to tell this, but it was good the time you said no to Vince.
I will. I'll shoot it. I was working for the WWF. Vince came up with this idea about having me handcuffed to the rail that goes keeps the people back. And then he wanted the big boss man to come out because I'd given his mother so much grief. He wanted the big boss man to rip my clothes off me and leave me standing there handcuffed in my underwear. But he wanted me to have hearts on my underwear, like women's panties. And I said, fine. But it didn't click in my mind. He wanted to do this the next day. Well, the next day we were in Providence, Rhode Island. And I kept thinking about this and more about it. That's not Bobby Heenan. And you never get heat from the people. And it's not entertaining to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
My daughter was going to a Catholic school. What are her friends going to say? Next thing her dad's got her heart underwear.
Yeah.
So I said, started to talk to him. So I took him in the dressing room and I explained to him that I just can't do it. He sat there like that. He said, you can't do it? I said, no. I said, why don't you handcuff me to the ring and just leave me there for the whole hour? And everybody comes to the ring. I'll say, would you go get Rick Rude? Would you go get one of the members of the Bobby Heenan family? And all the baby faces come out and they'd play with me and act like they're going to hit me. Stay there the whole night. Finally, at the evening, they came and let me go for the whole show. And it works out great. But Vince is sitting there, he's listening to me tell him why I don't want to do this thing with the hearts on the underwear and strip down and do the nudity thing. And he says, you won't do it? I said, Vince, I can't do it. He's Bobby, it's a work. I said, I know that. If it's a work, then you can change it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It'd be too hard on my kid. You can't do it? I said, no. And he got up and walked out and slammed the door so hard, the building shook. And I didn't do it. And I did the other one, the handcuff thing, and for the whole evening. But he was very, very upset with me that I told him no. I didn't tell him no because I disrespected him or anything.
Yeah.
And you can't do something right and make it look good if you're not comfortable doing it. Like I could never wrestle as a cowboy or a German because I don't speak with a German accent. I don't wear Western clothes. It wouldn't work. That thing just didn't work. I didn't want to do it, and that made him upset with me. He didn't like anybody to tell him no. And I'm sure on a bigger scale, more people have told him no than me.
Why do you think, I mean, some people probably told him no, and he said, you're doing it or you're gone. Why do you think he accepted that?
For me, because I was involved in too many things. I was managing almost every top guy there.
Yeah.
I also was doing Wrestling Challenge. I also was doing Prime Time. I also was doing the pay-per-views. I was producing the interviews. I was directing and producing the interviews of the talent. Plus, I was wrestling and managing.
Yeah. So by giving you an ultimatum, he would have...
If he'd have given me an ultimatum, I'd have left. I'd have left. Because if you give me an ultimatum, that tells me right off the bat, you have no regard for me. I have enough regard for you to tell you I can't do it. And let's think of something else. Not at the minute, right before I'm supposed to go, I say I can't do it. I gave you a whole day's preparation so we could be business-like and work something out. But there are some people who just don't like to be told no.
And you offered him an alternative, too.
I gave him what I thought was a better idea and something I was comfortable doing. That was entertaining.
When he slammed the door, what were you thinking?
I'm done.
Yeah.
I went to Jack Turney afterwards. I said, I'm done. He said, what do you mean? So I told him what happened. He said, nah. So I went to Jack Lanza. I told him what I did. He said, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was it. Then I went up in the stands and sat the whole day. So he couldn't find me. So then I went downstairs about 3 or Terry Parker started producing the interviews and stuff. Never came back or said a thing to me after that.
Nothing was ever said.
That was ever said. Maybe he didn't make him mad. Maybe he forgot it. But you sure slammed the door if he wasn't coming back. But that's okay. There's some things you have to do, I guess. And I made that decision based on my daughter's well-being.
Yeah. And you also said it wasn't in Bobby Heenan character. What about that's not the Bobby Heenan character?
I'm a loud-mouthed, brash manager.
Yeah.
I'm not a croupy little guy like some managers are. I'm a wrestler and a manager. And I have a reputation. I've never done that before in the business. That would look like I was gay, wearing underwear with hearts on it. And that didn't make me feel well about doing that. And I didn't know how I was standing with all the people looking at me, pointing, laughing, in underwear with hearts on it. I don't think I could have pulled it off.
And also, because I remember that angle, and I didn't think I had that on tape, is that you, it has potential to last longer, where you can tell a story over the whole hour, as opposed to, you can't just keep showing you, the initial shock of seeing it is, look at that, he's got hearts, he's wearing women's panties or whatever, but then that's it. I mean, you can't.
It's done.
Yeah.
But this way, everybody came out with a different story. If you go back to your room, I'll give you $50.
Yeah.
I had bribe and well, hey, what a good looking pair of trunks you got on.
Yeah.
It's written to keep.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
For 1 hour.
And then Root came out, and that was that was one of the first times
And he didn't have a key. If you came out, now have a key. What did you come out for, man?
He was yelling at McMahon.
Yeah.
He was saying, get the fucking key. And they were believing it. And I remember it was just, he was like right in McMahon's face.
So don't you think that was better than...
Oh, much better.
Yeah.
Much better. Because it was just kind of a bumbling, I got myself in this situation, now I got to get myself out kind of thing.
Is that okay, sir?
Oh, yeah. That's great.
I told one, I said, you beat Nick one more time, you get to keep him.
Put the word in the streets.